it's Joe with a tutorial that this commenter requested right here. I don't know why I tried to say that with some sort of like British Australian accent. It's because I watch Trash Taste too much. I really like that podcast. Do you guys like that podcast? Anyway. Yeah, let's talk about the guitar part for Momiji's violin. I like showing you guys the parts that I come up with for my covers for violin and guitar. Also, the tutorials are, I'll be honest, a lot easier to make than the covers. And I usually am strapped for time. If I try to make a cover every week in this current season of my life, I might go crazy. As much as I love playing music, and it is my thing, and it is even my day job, the covers take a lot of work. And so, just to be able to take a break from them, but still churn out the content, I like doing these tutorials as well. Very easy to do. I just show you guys what I do, cut the video, and bam. And if you enjoy these, let me know. Anyway, here are the chords for the guitar part of Momiji's violin. Let's go. We have a C add 9 chord. Okay. That is all on the 3rd fret. I'm muting the low E string. I am pressing with my 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of A. I'm muting the D string. Open G. And then I have my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of B. And I have my 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string. Okay. There you go. And then the chord after that, I have a G over B chord. Okay. And this one, very similar to the C add 9. All the same. Muted low E. This is the only difference. The A is pressed with my 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Muted D string. You don't want sound coming out of that one. Open G. Oh, sorry. There you go. There's the open G. We have 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of B and 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the high E. Okay. And then I have a G over A chord. I'll just call it that. This is a chord that I usually like to play in place of the A minor, which would be the 3 chord, the minor 3 chord in the key of G major. It sounds a lot prettier in some cases. And so, again, very similar to both the C add 9 and the G over B as far as fingering is concerned. You'll notice I haven't lifted these 2 fingers at all. But for this chord, again, I like to mute the low E. I mean, you should. And then I have an open A string, muted D string. Wait, no. I lied my 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the D string. This time the G string is muted. Okay. And then we have 3rd finger on B and 3rd finger on high E. So I'll call that a G over A chord. G major chord on top of an A bass. And then after that we have our standard G chord. Very similar to C add 9, except this time your 2nd finger is pressing on the 3rd fret of low E, and A is muted this time. Okay, and then open D, open G, 3rd finger on B, 4th finger on high E. Many tabs on the internet for this one. Okay. So that's the opening. Da 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 ya da da do da da do 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 ya do do. Okay, and then we go back to C add 9. Camera focus. There you go. Oh, a little whitewashed there. Focus on my left hand. There you go. So we have C, back to C add 9. Again, the intro goes da ya da 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 ya da 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 da. And then we finger pick single notes. Back to the C add 9. We pluck with the thumb A string, open G, B, and then go to the G over B, A string, G, B, and then afterwards we play an actual standard A minor chord. And then we pluck all the strings. We go A string, D string, G string, B string, G string, high E, B, and then G. So this pattern. And then strum the D chord. This is the standard D major chord. Many tabs on the internet for this one too. And then finger pick D, G, B, and then strum the whole D chord. And then do a little that sound. Let me go ahead and play the whole intro for you slowly with both hands. Try to follow along with both the right hand and the left hand. So I just gave you all the chords for that intro section. Ya da 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 ya da 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 do 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 da. Do that little snare imitating sound that you can do with your fingers on an acoustic guitar. And now we come to the full strums. C add 9. Going to a D chord, going to G over B. Going to this is one of my favorite versions of an E minor chord that I like to play. It is not the same as the standard E minor chord that you'll find on the internet. So this is my personal way and probably my favorite way to play an E minor chord. It's basically your G chord but with the low open E in the bass. So you have open low E and your second fret A, fretted with your first finger, muted D string, open G, third finger on the third fret of B, as usual, and fourth finger on the third fret of high E, as per usual. And then you go back to C add 9, going to D. Do 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 da da do 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 E to G over B. And then here, if you think of the song being in 6/8, we have multiple full strums. I strum with my first fingernail, and it's about 6 strums per chord. And then full strums. Da ya da 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 D, G over B. Da C add 9, da da D, da da E minor to G, and then we get to the final section. Da da C add 9, da D, da C add 9. This is a variation on the C add 9. This is the second to the last chord. So, standard C add 9 for the most part, except instead of keeping my fourth finger down, I take it off, revealing the open high E. And you pluck A, G, B, G, high E, B, G. So again, the pattern slowly is. And then for the last chord, you go standard G chord. And then I do the harmonics that I like to do whenever I'm in the key of G. So a harmonic is when you barely press the strings. Actually, you don't press at all. You're actually just touching. And you go like that. So my fourth finger does not press down. It is merely right on top of the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th. Literally the 12th metal fret. Not just the space, because when guitarists talk frets, we talk the spaces that you press, but really literally the 12th metal fret. So you place your fourth finger on top of the 12th metal fret of both G and B, and I'm plucking both of them with my middle and ring finger. And you go, you get the nice bell sound. And it continues. That's what you want. Again, not pressing down, just touching on top of the 12th metal fret. And then I'll hammer on, oops, that was a fail. There. I'll hammer on the 3rd fret of the low E, and that ends the entire song. So what follows after this is a demonstration of the entire song. Hopefully my run-through of it with all the explanations was good enough. If you do have any questions, of course, leave them in the comments section below. All good, and I'll do my best to get to you. I know I've been terrible at replying to comments. I know. But bear with me. And yeah, here is a playthrough of the entire song with just the guitar part in front of me on the screen. Cool. And so that is my tutorial on the guitar part I came up with for my version of Momiji's violin. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned the guitar part. If anything is unclear at all, just leave a comment. I'll get to you. I promise. Because I want to get to my comments eventually. As someone who is developing a small little audience, I have that responsibility, and so you can hold me to that. But anyway, thank you for watching, and I love doing these. Please keep the requests for lessons and tutorials on my covers coming, and I'll be happy to teach them to you. And if you have any requests for anime that you want me to cover, whether I've watched it or not, or even non-anime, I don't know, like Jingle Bells, no, but yeah, you get the point. I'd love to get around to your requests. Some requests are harder than others, so if you feel like I've been ignoring your request, it's because it's probably a harder song, and I've been strapped for time, like I said. But I will get around to every request eventually. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. God bless you, and have a great weekend. Much love. Thank you. Bye.